Down at 3rd and King in San Francisco, I'm Schmitty, and this is Talkin Schmit. Today on the show, JT AULTZ, baby. JT grew up in Poway, skating Weber Park, filming with Jim Capel and Shakas. He eventually turned pro for Real Skateboards and currently works in Tijuana, manufacturing skateboards. Great catching up with JT. Hadn't talked to him in a minute, and I even got to hear a new story about Dan Drehobl.
Somehow there was a wedding going on, and there was like a ballroom area, and he just cruised on in and grabbed a drink. And at some point, we walked downstairs after like going checking in and stuff, and Dan was taking photos with the wedding party, you know, with the bride and groom. I was like, this is insane that you pulled that off.
You guys, I want to start my own whack pack. He, she, they, I don't care. Let's get some regulars that call up on the show, much like Howard Stern. I want my own Marianne from Brooklyn. Could be Cindy from Daly City. Eric the Midget, Hank the Drunken Dwarf, whoever. Hit me up if you think you got the energy and time to contribute on this. It could be really fun and a new vine on this ever-growing tree. I want to thank the shops and people that prepaid for our new Chris Dune Pastra shirts. You all should have them by now. And a special welcome to Slappy's Garage in San Diego and Classic Skate Shop in Nevada for making their first orders with us. I appreciate you guys so much. Thank you. We have about 30 left out of the 100 we made, and once they're gone, we won't make more. Also, as I stated, all proceeds go to the NAACP for this particular shirt. So if you want to support the podcast in a worthy cause, buying this shirt is a great option. Hurry up, though, because as I said, it's only while supplies last. We only have a couple left of each size and color, so... this is episode 86, and here he is.
Hey, this is JT AULTZ, and you're listening to Talkin Schmit.
It's cool, like tonight is the night.
Here we go again.
Just give it the old college try, right?
Big dog's in.
Schmitty.
96 times, Schmitty.
Thanks, Schmitty.
We on? Schmitty?
Talkin Schmit.
That's called go to the hospital, bitch.
I'd be shitting my pants, man.
Your Rolodex is fucking deep.
It's about the one.
Who's this guy thinks he's tough shit?
What's up?
We're tastemakers.
Come on, Schmitty, what the fuck?
Let's hear it for Drake Smith. Yeah!
Hello, everybody. Are you hyped? How far down the rabbit hole of depression have you fallen? Well, today we're going to lift you up and into some good vibes because on the show, I got my old friend, JT, the bigger figure, AULTZ. How you doing, dude?
Good. How are you?
Good to see you. It's been a minute.
Yeah, it's been a long time.
What is BBS MFG?
Oh, that's BBS Manufacturing. That's where I work. That's why I gave you that email.
Okay.
So,
what is that?
It's skateboard manufacturing.
Like boards and shit?
Boards, yeah.
No way. What are you doing there?
I do development, so CNC programming a lot is most of my job, and anything development for skateboard stuff.
Oh, sick. I didn't really know that, I guess. All right, I'm going to take a stab. You were born in El Cajon.
No, I was born in Poway, so it's kind of close.
And you were raised, where'd you grow up?
Back and forth from San Diego to Los Angeles, mostly Los Angeles when I was younger in Burbank. And then my dad always lived in San Diego, so I would just spend time back and forth, basically.
Oh, your parents were separated?
Yeah.
Okay. You lived in Burbank?
I lived in Burbank for a while, and then I moved from Burbank to a place called Agora Hills, which is basically like
yeah, I know.
Westlake area.
Uh-huh.
A little like North LA, basically. And then in high school, first year, I moved back down to San Diego with my dad.
So you did high school in SD?
Yeah.
Was that what part? Was it SD proper or like?
Well, no, it was Rancho Bernardo, which is like Poway. It's in between North County and South County, so kind of like in the middle and a little east.
Okay. Sick. When did you get into skateboarding?
Maybe when I was like 10 years old. Maybe I kind of feel like I always had a skateboard, but when I was maybe 10 or 11, there was a place called Web Park that was a pretty famous spot back in like the 90s, you know, like a lot of the questionable videos and went over with Chris Markovich, skated a bunch. Willie Santos pretty much owned it.
That's in Poway.
That's in Rancho Bernardo. My dad lived like less than a mile away from it. So I drove by one day and saw someone try to do something, and I was like, I need to get a skateboard. I got to go there.
Oh, sick. Like you were drawn to it from a drive-by. Yeah,
well, I grew up, from the drive-by, but I always thought skateboarding was cool when I was younger. I grew up in the 80s in San Diego and had like a Nash board or old school board, whatever board my parents would get me for Christmas. But that was the first time I thought, like, oh man, I got to learn how to do a trick. Because I think the guy was trying a trick, like kickflips or something. And that was the time I'm like, I need to do that.
Right. What was the process? Did you have your dad take you to an actual skate shop, or did you go to like a sporting goods, or where'd you get your first board?
There was a bike shop that sold skateboards. We didn't have a skate shop. It was kind of a double at that time.
Uh-huh.
At least in Rancho Bernardo area. There's still no shop there now, I don't think. But in the surrounding areas too, back then, this was like probably 92 or something. So yeah, it was a half bike shop, What was a bike shop with like one wall of a couple skateboards, basically.
What was the board? Do you remember?
Yeah, I went in and all I remember thinking like, I need to get small wheels because small wheel, like that's all I remember seeing. Like that's what you need, small wheels. I don't know why. I didn't know double flips and all that, but I got sold on it. I think it was a Zorlac board, and I don't know whose board it was, but it was a an 80s style board, and the dude switched the bigger wheels out for me because I asked for that. And I got to the skate spot, which was right across the street, and realized everyone was riding like teeny boards, But, I was stuck with that thing for a year. So I was kind of bummed out because I was like, I got the wrong kind.
You're like, I got a Craig Johnson. What do I do with this thing?
Yeah. But it was probably better when you're little to have a bigger board looking back.
Right. Huh. So would you go to that Weber Park, like right out of the gates? That's kind of where you learned how to skate? Yeah,
my dad just basically dropped me off because I could walk to my house from there. He came with me. It was for the 90s. There was a lot of people there. There was, there'd be 30 dudes skating there, and I was kind of intimidated, but it was just a park, so I just started skating. And
was there vibes like Embarcadero would kind of vibe, like the locals had their own vibe? Like was it friendly or was it kind of sketchy?
I think it was kind of vibey, but I was really little, so I kind of avoided it, you know what I mean? Because when you're 10 or 11, no one's gonna.
Yeah.
At least they didn't find me out, or I wasn't aware of it. I was just dumb and whatever,
Who were some of the early guys that like you saw in person that got you like, holy shit, Willie Santos or whoever it was that you're like, God damn?
Willie was definitely the first one that I was like another level. Like this guy's no joke. There was a bunch of other guys that weren't pro or anything that were. I thought they were on another level. They were crazy. They're just the locals at that park. But Willie was the first one where it was like, holy crap. Like,
right.
He was better than everybody at that time.
So at a young age, are you seeing people that are in the mag and in videos at this park? Like you already have a connection with like, oh my God, that guy's the dude in the mag, or was that later?
No, that was later. I didn't know where to even get a magazine or, until later on. I didn't even know there was pros or anything like that. I didn't know it was a thing like that.
Oh.
And I ended up getting the hookups video around the same time, the questionable too. So a friend gave me questionable. I got the hookups video, which both were obviously great videos, and they both had Web Park in there. And I was like, oh, this is like in the videos. This is where I'm skating, and that's when I connected it. Well, and even then I was like, oh, maybe they're local. I didn't think it was, now I look back and like, there's footage of all sorts of dudes that were like, legendary that came there obviously for a reason because it was a good spot to skate. But I didn't realize until later.
Huh. So who were some of the other early guys, like when you did get a magazine and you started watching videos, like what photos would be on your wall, or like dudes that you would be like, watch their video part extra times and that kind of stuff?
Willie for sure, but then Pat Duffy was the first person where I was like, holy crap. Like, to me, that was, because I had Questionable. That was one of the first videos I had. And it was Hensley part goes right into the question, or to Duffy's part. And the handrails, that got me like, this is insane. And so Pat Duffy was the first person I was shocked. Like, I've never seen anything like this.
Had you skated a handrail at all before you saw Duffy's part?
No. That was like, I remember me and my friends were like, we got to find a handrail and skate a handrail. That was a thing. That was like a mission.
Do you remember that first time that you actually skated a handrail? Yeah.
It was a 3-stair rail. I right across the street. It was really tall and short. And I remember I board some no. So I was like, I was young, and I remember my dad, like, I'm like, you got to watch this. He parked the car. And then I went back recently, not recently, probably like when I was in my 20s. And I don't think I can no slide it now. It's so short and tall. It was the worst handrail. But when you're little, you don't want to sack it and all that. So
yeah,
I'm the safest in your head, the safest rail. But yeah.
Yeah, I remember when we were trying it in the early days, we would basically ollie out. So you're just ollieing like a normal ollie and hopefully hitting the end on the way down and just falling to the ground.
Yeah.
That was like the board slide. We did a board slide. No, not really. When you started getting better, what was your first sponsor?
I got sponsored by a skate shop called IG up in Agora Hills. And it was my first sponsor, I guess. It was a skate shop. There was a guy named Bert that ran the shop, and he ripped too, and he hooked me up.
What did he give you? Free grip tape or like discount on wheels, or what was it?
I don't know, just stickers, I guess. But then they ended up getting me like, they got me flowed boards through Evil skateboards at some point. I got like a box or something from them, and then Planet Earth after that somehow. So somehow the reps, I think, were hooking it up, and then Billabong. At some point, I started getting stuff from them. They actually like brought me down, gave me a bunch of stuff. And
who was it? Reese Forbes? Who was doing?
No, this was
earlier, huh?
Yeah, this was earlier. But the guy that was the team manager ended up giving my sponsor tape to Bob Burnquist, and at the time he was on Antihero, so he gave my tape to Mickey, and Mickey ended up calling me and. That's like
the rest is history.
I gotta thank Bob for hooking me up. I don't even know Bob, but I'm always grateful that he passed on my tape.
Sick. Did you get a box from Planet Earth?
I did, yeah, a couple times.
And was that your first box or no? Though it was.
Evil was the first time I got a box, and then after that, it was Planet Earth.
Do you remember like your feelings, like getting the box in the mail and just being like, "Holy fuck"?
Yeah, it was insane. I mean, to get anything free, you're obviously stoked, But it was like Christmas, but better.
And then you got on Reel basically because Mickey passed it to Jim, and what'd they do? Like invite you up or meet you at Tampa Am, or what happened?
I got a call from Mickey, and he was like, Bob gave me your tape, and he wants to possibly get you on Antihero, but I'm thinking maybe stereo or reel. And he kind of gave me the choice, and I was like, well, I always liked reel and Drake Jones, all that. So I was like, I'm down for whatever. I'm grateful, but obviously, but if you're asking me, I'd be pretty hyped to get on reel. And then he asked like, what kind of trucks you're riding? I remember at the time I had 2 different trucks. I had like a Thunder and an Indy for some reason because I broke a Kingpin or something. I don't know. But he's like, I'll just send you Thunders, and I'm going to send you Spitfires too. I'm like, hell yeah. That was pretty awesome.
Sick. And then what was like the first time you kind of met those dudes, and did you like go on a trip, or like did you come up for a meeting, or like how did it start out?
I went on a trip to San Francisco with Damian Bravo. Mm-hmm. He was living he just got on the team too. So he was living in Santa Barbara, and I was pretty close. So he came and picked me up, which is now looking back, he went 45 minutes out of the way, or an hour. So, and then we drove all the way to San Francisco and went on a trip with Anti-Hero. Mostly it was a trip to, remember that Visalia? I think it's still there, Visalia skate camp.
Yep.
We started in the city, and then we went there, and it was like Tony Trujillo, Julian, I think Tim Upson, and Jason Ferris. But Jason Ferris wasn't the team manager at the time. He might have even been on the team. Or getting, I don't know. But yeah, that was pretty much the crew. And Cardiel was there too. And
are you intimidated? How do you feel being with all, like, those dudes are pretty legendary already at that time, right?
Totally. And I grew up skating, I grew up skating street, and there wasn't skate parks like there is now. So I had like zero transition skills at all. Like I couldn't skate anything but a 4-foot mini ramp so, and Damien had the same. I remember at some point, because we were going to pools. I've never been in a pool. So I immediately tried to do a backside flip in the pool, and I got worked, and everyone's laughing. And then, yeah, at some point Damien's like, dude, I don't know, man. I don't think we're getting on. And I remember coming back from the trip, my friends here were like, in San Diego, were like, how'd it go? And I was like, not good, man. I'm like, I don't think it worked out. And somehow Mickey still hooked us up. So,
was there any? I don't even know if it was around yet, but like, I know you're pretty good friends with the Hemis. Like, was there ever like skate mafia ideas of you writing for them?
No, I was on Reel already at that time. They were like a small clothing brand at first. So I was like, technically, they're like, you're on the team. Everyone's on the team. And I had a part in the first video and all that. And it was supposed to be, or it was at the time, just I think t-shirts and stuff. So that time kind of what I was, but when they became a board brand, I was already with,
you were, yeah.
So, but,
Right. Got to talk about old Shakus. He was instrumental in filming. Him and Jimmy probably filmed a lot of your early stuff, right?
Yeah, a lot. Most of my stuff was through Jimmy, and then Shakus.
Did you meet them at Webber, or how did you meet up with them?
I met Jim at Webb because he lived in the area, and then later on he got a job working for Osiris, and Shakus was filming for Osiris, and that's when I would naturally just go skate with Jim, and Shakus would be there, and then we'd go out all the time, and then later on with Fox and all that stuff, and
right,
I would just naturally just go start the days off at Shakus's house, and whoever was down to skate that day, we'd all go out.
Mm-hmm. Do you got like some? I mean, I'm sure people ask me about P-Stone. I feel like Shakus is kind of your guys' P-Stone, like just a good times dude and fucking just rad, like wanting to do shit is like such a positive vibe and stuff. I got to know him, later, pretty much Vox era. I think I met you guys around the same time, him and you.
I feel like we were on trips. It was all connected to Vox, basically.
Yeah.
I think. No, Shakus was the best. It was definitely, it's still hard,
Totally. Do you have one like rad thing that you like, some story or something that like makes you laugh or smile thinking back?
I got a lot of funny. Yeah, I got a lot, but Shakus was funny. He was fun the first thing that comes to mind is an Australia trip we went on, and we all were camping, and he brought so much stuff. He brought this whole like air bed that was like, he blew up, and like he had like every episode of Lost on his iPod, and we're like, he's basically like didn't want to camp really, but he had to, so he like had it all perfect. And at some point the mattress popped and was losing air, so every night we would hear like 4 times a night we'd hear like him blowing his mattress back up. But no, there was he was great. There was all sorts of funny moments like that.
You guys were into Lost, right?
Yeah, Drehobl got us into Lost.
That's what I thought. I was asking Drehobl. I was like, isn't JT the guy you used to bond with Lost? And he's like, dude, that could be anybody.
Yeah, no, he used to talk about, he
theories on what was going to happen. And
he told me he watched like 2 seasons in a day and a half. Like the math was insane. Like he stayed up basically for 2 days straight to catch up on it. And then I watched a couple episodes and was like, oh my God, he's right. This show rules. And then
I think that's when I met you guys, because I was into Lost too, and like we were all talking like, dude, what the fuck?
And Dan had all like, this is like, he had all the insight. I mean, I know the internet was out, but he was like finding out all the theories online and stuff.
Yeah, he had like the cheats.
Yeah,
for sure. You guys live by each other, right? You're in San Marcos?
Yeah, and he's
Escondido, like next town over.
Only a couple exits away.
When Shawkus passed, how was that on you for your skating? Like he was kind of your go-to filmer, or Jimmy, like did that change things for you skateboard wise? Like did you find a new, or was it more just like random dudes whoever now, or like how'd it go?
No, it was hard. I mean, for sure hard for mental, just on so many levels, right? And at the time I was filming with Jimmy a lot, and we kind of connected through Shock, not like, that was, he was both our best friends and stuff. And he was, I'd gotten on Osiris, and he started working back for Osiris again, like, a little bit after that, so that was cool to have, a relationship with Jim and obviously be able to skate like that. But it's hard when you get used to, when you're talking about, filming with random people and stuff like that. It doesn't work that easy.
Totally.
Especially the older you get in your comfort zones, and people know, I don't know.
Well, I think when you have, in my experience, it seems like I know my guys, and I know how to hype them up and how not to bum them out. Like those are important things going to the session where you're like, don't mention this or the session's over. Like I already know that. And you can rise his spirits this way, but not this way. Like, guys that way. And you have this comfort level. And like, as the skater, you look over and you're like, I'm not wasting this guy's time. He's got, like we've done this a bunch. So you have that ability to be like, I'm going to make this, even if it takes all day or like whatever. Or I might not make it and I didn't ruin this guy's time or whatever.
Yeah, because that's, weighing heavy on your mind. You're like, am I wasting time? Is he bummed that I'm
right?
OCD ticks right now? Is he bummed on the the routines or just the fact that I'm not making the trick? And Shawkus was really good at that, and like to the point where he would say, I'd be like, I'm ready to film a trick, and he'd be like, I haven't seen you get close enough yet. And I'd be like, fuck you, man. And he'd get real pissed off. And he's like, I just want to see, I'm like, I'm going to make it right now without the camera, just out of spite. And I'd get closer, and then he'd get the camera out and we'd get the trick. So it was almost like he won. You know what I mean? Like he forced me to skip a bunch of stages just because he knew that out of spite, I was going to do everything in my power to prove him wrong. But I wasn't capable to prove him wrong, but enough to get the clip in a timely fashion.
Right. Yeah, that can backfire sometimes. I've used that and it works sometimes. And then some people are like, no, that's not the way to fucking stoke me on. I'm over it.
It depends on the person, but
totally. And that's part of like having the relationship with the guy. Like, okay, I know what's going to work and what's not going to work.
Yes. A lot of people might just be like over the whole trick and not even, but we were pretty close. He knew how my brain was working and that, and he knew that I wasn't going to.
Yeah. I got a couple questions from the Duff Man.
Oh, from Corey?
Yeah, you ready?
Yeah.
He said, ask him if he ever ran into Blink 182 at a burrito shop.
At a burrito shop? No. I ran into him at that place, Web Park, in skate spots when I was younger.
Oh, really?
The guy skated.
Is he from your area?
They're from Poway, yeah. So that's why, I think that's why he's asking the question. But
what is it, Travis Barker?
No, the other two guys. Corey, we ran into him together later on in life.
Corey asked them for their autograph, is what I heard.
Corey was homies with him.
Corey had a fan out.
Corey was. We were on a trip in in Austin, and they were playing. It wasn't Blink, but it was one of the guys, and he had a different band. And Corey was like, "Oh, they're playing down the street, walkable distance from the hotel." And we went with, I think it was Nuge and Slash, Brian Hansen and Brian Young. We were on like a split trip or something. And Corey's like, "Come on, let's go." And we went, and it was cool. They let us in like backstage and was shooting the shit about skateboarding. And I remember Don and Brian were like kind of just too cool, like whatever, like taking the beer. I'm like, at the very least, this dude's like giving us free beer and pizza and shit. Like don't do that way. But it was funny.
Nice. How did you and Corey become friends from being on the same team?
Yeah. He was on Billabong at the same time, like when I got on Reel through Bob Burnquist. So I met him kind of through there, not really. Like I just kind of knew who he was. And then on that Visalia trip with Mickey and Julian and all those guys, he was there at skate camp. So that was the first time I met him. He was leaving today, and like we that's the first time I met him. And then,
yeah, you guys have a pretty close connection. Like, do you feel like you skate the same stuff, or you just have like personal things that you bond on? Like,
yeah, both. You know, we skate the same stuff. I don't know.
Same music, maybe.
Yeah, similar music. And when he got on 88, when I was on 88 at the time, we started skating more together. And I would always go to San Francisco as well, and he would kind of come down here because he rode for Tomieto companies, and I rode for Deluxe.
Oh, right.
You know, it was like we were on different paths, but we'd link up at the same time. So we're like, well, you could stay at my house, and we'll skate. And yeah, we skated the same stuff too. You know, that was.
All right, we both want to know the answer to this one. True or false? You took a shit in a shower.
Man, Corey told me that. No, that's false. But I told him that to mess with him, and he told his mom. Like I told him as a joke that it was too cold to get out of the shower, and I just stomped it down the drain. And I thought it was funny, and he's like, "What?" And it was, I was staying at his mom's house. So I got out, or one of the days later, his mom was like, "Don't go to the bathroom." She called me out on it. I was like, "What the fuck, man?" Because it wasn't real. I didn't really do that, but he told his mom that I was shitting in the shower. That sucked. But it was like a joke gone wrong, kind of.
Oh my God. Does she still believe you did to this day, or?
I don't know if she just messes with me. I don't think she really thinks I did, but I think she just likes to mess with me.
His parents are great. I was there when Corey got his first photo ever. So I've known him since like he was the bleach blonde little kid on Think, like whatever.
Was it on the outrail? Is that what his first photo was?
No, it was dropping off a roof. That's why we always called him like the roof gap kid or something. I forget, but like he was just riding off a big drop, and the guy shot the photo like from below. I think it was. Maybe I have to ask him, but I'm pretty sure that was the first thing. I filmed it too, so like I'll dig out the footage. And, yeah. It was sick though. He was like, there was this indoor skate park, Antioch, and we used to go there all the time. He was probably like 12. I don't know. He was really young, and he was just ripping like big ollies, back lip, like things that like were standing out. And Greg and them put him on Think, and then he started traveling with the guys and kind of got groomed by like Drehobl and Phil and some of the like, Jesse Paez, those dudes. Mm-hmm. And then the rest, as they say, is history. Got fucking out of there, foundation. Now I don't know if he's getting boards or from somebody or.
Yeah, I don't know.
But what's the deal with Kieran Knightley? Is there some possible date situation?
No, that was a joke too. He's messing with you.
I was like, how the hell is that one from England? And then the last one, he's talking about throwing a plate of pasta in Svitak's face.
Oh man, yeah, I feel really bad about that actually. Well, I didn't throw it in his face. I just I was on. Yeah, we were on a trip. I think we were in Australia, and Svitak was kind of, I don't know, I guess he was getting on my nerves because, I would ask him for like, oh, could I get a little piece of like whatever he had, like, we share stuff, and he would like be like, no. And then at some point in the trip, he was like grabbing stuff, like food off my plate, and I was like, you know what, just take the whole plate, whatever. I feel bad because I really like Christian, and We had good times on those trips, but yeah, it was like
That was 88?
I didn't. Yeah, it was 88. I didn't throw it in his face. I just, I kind of snapped a little bit. I apologize.
Did you ever travel with Pigpen?
Mm-mm.
Who else was Hewitt on there? And Blender?
Blender was, Hewitt was.
Cranny?
Yeah, we did some trips with Cranston and Blender.
Dude, that was such a sick team.
It was fun. I don't know. There was Drehobl on. Maybe not until Vox.
Yeah, Drehobl got on Vox. I think he went from
seamless kind of. So I mixed up the teams, and they were kind of the same.
Right.
Never wasn't on until after 2.
Oh yeah, yeah. Vox was epic. That's where like Strubing, E-Man, I think Duffy was even on towards the end or something. But we'd go to. I went on a couple of trips with Vox. It was always the best. Like we went up north. We went to Arizona. Pretty much the same crew always. It was Shakus and Ed, and then like Pete and Darren, Dan. I think you were on.
Yeah, I was
the
on
trips
some of them.
I went.
Sure.
Yeah, it was super fun.
Yeah, that dynamic with Darren and Pete, and then Dan just muttering something because Darren won't stop talking, and then Pete getting mad at Darren. That was a great.
Yeah, those were like heavy alcohol days too.
Yeah.
Like there was a lot of like next day not skating because you were too hungover or just felt like shit from drinking so much the night before.
For sure, yeah, it was. Yeah.
I remember we went to that spot where Drehobl had the cover in Arizona. It's like, and he was like throwing up on the way there. Like I think he even oops poops or something. It was like fucking fucked up.
He was the funniest. I got a lot of stories about. Yeah, he. I mean, I know you do too, but
yeah.
Man's insane.
I love it. Yeah, I was talking to him like about within the last year. I was talking to him. I was like, remember Arizona, blah blah blah, and he's like, I never went to Arizona with you, and I was like, dude, what the fuck?
Yeah, were you on the trip where you crashed the wedding?
I don't think so.
We were staying in the hotel, and there was a wedding going on, and there was like a ballroom area, and he just cruised on in and grabbed a drink and then sat down, and he's like, come on. I'm like, I'm not going to, I feel weird, man. So, but at some point we walked downstairs after like going checking in and stuff, and Dan was taking photos with the wedding party. Like, I think the movie Wedding Crashers came out, and they were all stoked like, oh, we found a real life wedding crasher. Come on, we got to get the wedding crasher in the photo. And he's like, with the bride and groom. I was like, this is insane that you pulled that off.
I don't know about that one. That was good though. Damn. The other thing too is, speaking of Duffel, there was a Sodi party, and I got fucking sucker punched, and Duffel might have got a knife pulled on him, and I think you were right there.
Yeah, we had to bail real quick. Yeah, I didn't know you were in the heat of that, in the thick of that.
Dude, what happened was I think it was in front of Corey maybe, and I was behind this guy, and I put my hands up in the air to take a photo. I think Rancid was playing, and I took a photo of the band, and while my hands up like that, holding my camera with both hands, dude turns around and just punches me in the face, and I was like, whoa. Those days they had an open bar for the first hour, so like I'm sure I was hammered, but I clearly remember this. And I was like, what the fuck? And then me and that dude ended up kind of, whatever, probably drunk and sloppy, nothing. But I got pulled out and got kicked out of and I was like, this is my party. What the fuck?
Yeah. What the hell?
Yeah. And then like I don't know, next time I talked to Corey, he's like, dude, after that dude pulled a knife on me. And like, I guess that dude and Corey had beef. Like he knew that dude. Yeah. That dude's dead now.
Oh, crazy. I didn't know.
But the crazier part for me was, so I had the blog that I used to put photos of our drunken nights on with captions, and I put a piece together of that night, and I had a photo of that guy somehow, and I put for the caption Rancid Goon, right? Like Rancid Goon ends my night or something like that. So like a week or two after that, I went to see Morrissey, and I just went with like Sally and a bunch of girls, and I was the only guy. And I run into that dude, and he walks up to me, he totally knows me, and he's like, "Rancid goon, huh?"
Oh crap!
And I'm like, I'm dead. I'm gonna die right now. And then like Jason Adams was there with like some people, and somehow like I was like, dude, we're at Morrissey. Really? You're going to fucking kick my ass at Morrissey? Seriously? Like, that's what's going to happen right now? Like, you already sucker punched me, dude. Like, what? Like, I don't even know you. Like, whatever. Somehow I fucking talked my way out of it, and I got, and then that dude ended up on the stage and did like a stage dive and got kicked out there. Like, he was like notorious for being a fuck up. But, yeah, that was fucked up. I remember just being that was one of the worst Sodi parties for me, because I was outside just pissed. Like, dude, I got kicked out here for getting sucker punched.
I remember that pretty clear too. I was watching Rancid. I'm a huge Rancid fan since I was a little kid, so I was really stoked just watching the show. And I didn't see all that go down, but Jim Thiebaud pulled me aside and was like, "You got to get Corey out of here." And I was like, yeah, after the show. And then he's like, "No, you got to go now." And I walked out, and Corey had already ran down the street, because I guess this dude was looking to try to kill him, basically. And we made it to Bart and got over to the East Bay pretty quick. But later on, Corey basically said that dude was like looking for him at shows, because he knew Corey went to shows. And then Corey reached out to him on Facebook or something, was like, "Hey, dude, I don't want any problems." And
yeah, because he was notorious for like just beating people up at shows. And I don't know, he had a really dude, he worked at Amoeba Records. So one time I walked in and I didn't know he worked there, and I was like, how the fuck is this guy everywhere right now?
That's because Corey couldn't go. Yeah, that's you gotta avoid too many places at that point.
Yeah, it was insane. I forget his name. It was like Mick or something. It was like East Bay Mick, and I think it was Rancid's roadie. I bet Jim knows him for sure. I bet.
Yeah, Jim.
Because he's like an East Bay dude that had a reputation.
Get him out of here, because
like this guy will fuck him up. Yeah. Have you ever slept in the racing car bed at Corey's house?
No. I thought he had like a pirate bed or something.
Or that's what it is, a pirate ship.
Yeah, a pirate bed.
That's when you know you've made it, when you're sleeping at Corey's and you get the pirate ship. Yeah.
Yeah.
Wait, does JT stand for Jim Thiebaud?
Justin Travis.
Justin Travis.
Yeah.
How much money have you lost betting on makes?
Oh, a lot. And I didn't pay a lot of it too. I feel really bad. I owe people money from that. Always be double or nothing. No, double or nothing again.
That's on you, like when you're skating? You're like, I'm going to make this, or I owe you money?
Yeah, so I would do that just to like force myself to commit.
Yeah.
It'd be like $20, but then I wouldn't, it would turn into like double or nothing, only this try. And then next thing I know, I'm at like $200. And then next thing you know, it's not even realistic. So
$10,000.
Yeah, it would always be like, dude, I owe you like thousands. How about we call it, I buy you beer? And, is that cool?
Yeah.
That's how it would go down. That's another like filmer skater relationship. Like you were saying, it was kind of Shockus and Jimmy knowing like, yeah, you're full of shit, whatever.
Right. Like, this is just part of the process. It's not real. Like, I don't have any money. I can't afford to pay you $10,000.
And Shockus do that and try. I'd be like, I'll buy you dinner, dude. I'm sorry.
Oh, man. Hey, can I take a quick little piss break? I'll be right back.
Yeah.
Give me 1 sec.
Hey, it's Corey at Blue Plate, 3218 Mission Street. Come see us. Meatloaf, fried chicken, deviled eggs, Dollar Olympia beers. We're here every day of the week. We got a garden, and we got smiles on our faces. Come let us make you happy.
And now, another first impression with Ernie Torres.
What's up? I'm Ernie Torres. I'm here to talk about when I met JT AULTZ. So the first time I met JT AULTZ, he was on a real trip that happened to be in my hometown. And when I met him, I was like, oh, this dude's cool. And like, everybody on the team is usually pretty cool to like the flow kids or the dudes showing them around or whatever. Me, flow kid. And I'm just like getting to know him throughout the trip. I was like, oh, this dude's like just nice by nature's kind of nice to everybody, like kind of that kind of dude. And not everybody's like that. Not saying the real dudes aren't nice, because they are. After like we skated a little bit and a couple months go by, he like invites me to come stay at his place in Southern California. And I stayed there like longer than I thought I would, and he was just like so cool, taking me under his wing, taking me skating every day, showing me all the spots, showing me like all his like favorite like food spots, and just being like the raddest dude. But I will say one negative thing about him is he cursed me actually with being OCD in skateboarding, because I used to like not think of anything like that, just like just go. And that MFer introduced me to that, and because he's crazy about it. He's like, volume on the stereo can't be like on an odd number, it has to be even number, and it's little things like that. But he's funny, but he definitely cursed me with that, and I always give him shit about that. But you know, man, that's been like about like 15 to like 17 years worth of me dealing with OCD because of him. So come to think of it, I should beat his ass for that at least one time. But other than that, I really do love JT and his family, and he's just the raddest dude for real. We'll fuck up your spots. Still holding it down south. He's the fucking man.
Don Wapo! Where's my son? Where's my son? Where's Wapo? Hey! Where is my son? Tomatoes! Where's the spice? Get those chilies coming! Hot! Hotter! Don't be spilling it! Stuff like it's gold! We got the new sauce! Punk rock! Yeah! New kick! New flavor! Mod sauce is here! Step up to the plate and lose.
All right, how we doing? We're doing all right? This isn't too bad, right?
No, it's mellow. That was
mellow. Yeah, the money thing about the bets and stuff. I know you've probably talked this to death, but a little bit about OCD might be cool to like explain like that whole thing and where you're at with it today. Like, have you seen it an improvement, or is it kind of just something out? Like, how's it been?
It was pretty much tethered with skateboarding with me, and now, you know, a little bit. I think it's high stress situations for me. So with skating, I would, you know, you're stressed, you're trying something scary, and I would always. It was almost like I'm doing all this weird shit to get my mind off of thinking anything that could possibly go wrong.
Right.
And to like force myself to push myself a little harder. You know, like with the bets, especially with that, it's like I need to put myself in a situation where I have to try this or whatever. And then it got to a bad point. At some point it was like, I couldn't go on try 6, I had to go on 7. If I rolled up another time, then I had to roll up 2 more times like that.
Oh.
And Morford was like, it's getting worse. He kind of called me on it. And I was like, dude, he's right. So I always, even after I got better with it, it was still there, but I kind of came to a realization, like, I can't control everything, you know, but now I don't skate, you know, I skate my flat bar and the bowl outside of my work, and I'm not trying anything hard. So it goes with that, you know, so I don't have the tics I used to have.
Right.
I don't with skating anymore, but sometimes, like when I drive, I'll do certain things like blinker up and down. Like, it's weird. It's like an itch. Like I can't.
Is it something that like you don't consciously do, and then when you're doing it, you notice it and go, "Oh, whoa, I'm doing it"?
Yeah, kind of. Yeah, and it's not a whole lot of things. It's just like for some reason, when I'm driving, I do these certain things. Like if I make a right turn, I'll turn the blinker on right, then turn on left, and then back to right. It's almost like I need it to be an odd number, and it doesn't make sense. I'm not, I identify like this means nothing. But I don't know why? It's like I just have to.
It's your rhythm, huh?
Yeah.
Have you ever been with like a new filmer or photographer and they're like, I can't handle this or something like?
No, I was pretty good like about when it's someone I didn't know, I forced myself to hide it.
Oh.
Until like I felt comfortable, maybe.
Okay. So Gabe saw the worst of it.
Gabe saw the worst for sure, because I was really comfortable shooting with Gabe and I shot with him. So over the years, he watched it build.
Right.
And then Ed saw the worst of it too.
Oh, right.
Dominic, and Shakas and Jimmy, of course. But with I never really had, the only time I had any kind of weirdness was I was on a traffic trip in Atlanta and I was trying to Kruger grind this rail. It was like a gold rail, like double rail outside of a building. It was really short run up and it was really windy. So there was like a lot of elements to deal with at the time. And I was like filming with this guy, Frankie from Philly. And he was super cool, and we were kind of in, I was like, I got it, this try with him, and I was like, I'll get $20 kind of thing. And he was like, hell yeah, really positive. So I was really, they started trying it, and then, or no, I didn't even start trying yet. And Bobby Pulio was there, and he like came up, was like, dude, you don't have to do this. And like, I was like, what? And it kind of took me out of it. And I was like, I know I don't have to do this. I want to do this. Like I've been wanting to do this since the last time I was here.
Yeah.
It was only kind of like vibey and weirdness I got. Like, I'm obviously bumming this guy out, but he wasn't skating, so I don't know why I was bumming him out, but whatever. It ended up working out. We got the trick and all that, and then we went to another spot. But that was the only time it ever affected someone else. And I don't want to bum people out, but at the same time, I was like, you're not skating. So
yeah,
skating, I would definitely not be doing this because I'm like aware enough to not try to bring my bullshit into somebody else's.
I remember Lee Yankow had some interesting, when he was trying something, he would go through kind of like his own madness too. Mm-hmm. Yeah. I always am just like, dude, the whole thing's an adventure. Everything's like, I'm just enjoying it. It's everyone's personality. It's just like, it kind of, whatever. If everything was exactly the same, that would not be skateboarding for me.
Yeah. Yeah. Everyone's got their things, I think.
Yeah.
Even people that don't really have it, you can still kind of see like one little thing they do,
Yeah.
Like Corey always would skip the last step when he walked up.
Really?
And I called him because, I could spot that, and I said something to him. He's like, yeah, I don't know why I do that. It's just, it's good luck. And I'm like, well, that's what it is, but
yeah,
everyone, there's a big scale, but
right.
I don't know.
Yeah. Felper, he seemed like the invincible dude that like in the middle of a war in Afghanistan, that's where he wanted to go to skate, that kind of guy. Mm-hmm. But his thing was he had to get to the airport like a day before the flight. Like we would go so fucking early. I would just be like, dude, the flight's not for 10 hours. Yeah, exactly. And it's not international. It's domestic. Like what the
fine,
fuck?
We got this.
Yeah. And it was just like, okay, now we're here. Now what do we do? I would always be like, you're hurrying up to wait is killing me.
Yeah, just basically a stop sign.
Yeah. So I get it. Are you into sports?
Yeah, I am. Yeah.
You're football, baseball, both?
Playing baseball, yeah. Padres are doing pretty good.
Dude, Tatis
is insane. Tatis, Machado's, the whole team, yeah. Hosmer now, and 4 Grand Slams in a row. Well, last night they didn't get that, but they beat the Astros, which was cool. And yeah. No, I'm kind of a jock.
Do you go to games? Like not this year, obviously, but
yeah, I would go when obviously not this year, but I'd always try to go to a couple games.
Okay, dude, I live like 2 blocks from where the Giants play, and I've been Since the COVID happened, I've been like waking up super early and going on walks because I just need to get outside, but I'm taking this shit pretty seriously. Like I believe that this is a real thing, like opposed to some people don't think it's real, I guess. But like, I don't know. I've just been like wearing a mask and staying indoors a lot. Anyway, I've been going on walks. I go around the ballpark because it's right here. And I'll see the players sometimes coming in and out of there and stuff. It's so crazy. We have the fans, cardboard cutouts in the stands.
I watch the games, and I watch the Giants. We have the fans too. Then we have like dogs because it's Petco Park, so they'll put a dog in the fan
like a cardboard cutout of a dog.
Yeah. But
I love it. Like it. I mean, it's corny and it's whatever, but it looks way better than an empty stadium.
It's better than an empty stadium. I thought it was going to be weird, but as soon as the game starts, you're not even thinking of that.
Yeah.
The crowd noise works. I mean, at least from like a perspective of a fan. It makes you forget.
Do you think about like I'm watching all the games pretty much, and I'm wondering like in my mind I'm like, is this how good everybody is? Like, is this a normal season, or next year if everything goes back to normal, does everybody play differently? Like, is this affecting how people are playing?
I feel like it's with the 60 games, maybe people, it's kind of a sense of urgency. It's not as much of a grind, maybe.
Right.
So, I don't know. I'm not a baseball player, but you have to think like it's, a bad run will possibly take you out of the playoff hunt.
Yeah.
So.
Well, I mean, I'm, what is it? Guilty pleasure. I got to say that like when baseball started playing, my depression got less. Like I was kind of fucked for a while when this like we were in lockdown, like nothing was open. We couldn't leave the house. I live in a 1-bedroom apartment, no yard. And I'm just like, what the fuck? And I just moved in with my fiance. And like, so we're kind of like still acclimating to that and also still moving in my stuff and making it ours instead of hers. Yeah. So it's been like pretty challenging with all that going on. And then like baseball started and I was like, okay, I think I'm okay now.
Yeah. It's definitely something to look forward to.
Yeah. And it's funny because we grew up like on anti-jock mentality, we're skateboarders, all that stuff. So it is kind of one of those things that maybe I'm not super proud of, but like I just feel like I'm a fan. I'm not like a jock still. Like I just like the game, but it's not like I'm going to be like the high school jock mentality. I think those are two different things.
Yeah, I always felt weird about it because my dad's really into sports. So he had always, regardless if I wanted to hear it or not, he's going to talk to me about the Astros. He's from Houston, so we talked about the Rockets and Astros and Oilers at the time, but they switched, now the Texans. So he would always just talk anyways. And I always, liked the Chargers and the Padres, but when I was younger and skating, it was kind of like, no, like opposite of that, fuck that.
Right.
When I got a little older, I was like, I do, I like watching it with my dad and stuff. And yeah, I just fan of the game.
Did it crush the community when the Chargers moved to LA, or are they still like, nah, it's close enough, we're fans, or how's that working?
Yeah, nobody's. I thought maybe there'd be like half and half, but there's not really any.
Fuck the Chargers.
Fuck the Chargers. It was the way they left too. The owner, just the way they handled it and just turned they fight for LA. They didn't try to like retain any fans from San Diego. Their marketing was like, we're fighting for LA. It's all LA. And it's like, you guys could have probably kept some of your fans, but now no.
It's weird. They're sharing a stadium with the Rams, right?
Yeah. So
it's just so weird.
Yeah.
So who do you root for anyone then? Arizona or the Rams or like Niners? We going Niners?
Nah, I definitely root for them in the Super Bowl because I don't like the Chiefs very much. But
yeah,
I was following the Chargers because it's like I'm not just gonna pick a team out of a hat, and then a little bit the Texans for my dad.
Oh, okay.
Philip Rivers, the quarterback that we watched down here for the last 17 years. He went to the Colts, so this year I'm going to be a Colts fan for a year just to watch him play. But yeah, sick. It's not the same.
Yeah, I'm less football. I love baseball for sure. The one that I love the everyday part of it. It just feels like life, where it's like win or lose, tomorrow's another game.
Mm-hmm.
So it's like good or bad day. Tomorrow's a new day. Like I always feel like there's some analogies that kind of parallel like your life. Our announcers are the best in the business, and they always talk about things that are like kind of you can take into your life. Like it's not just about baseball. It's just like a way of living and stuff that like, I don't know. It's like ways of looking at things positive. We got to talk about Slappy's Garage. Is that your local shop?
No, it's not local to me. It's pretty far away. It's in downtown, but it's my favorite shop because it's Jason Carney, like you were talking about earlier. He started that shop. He started in Ramona.
He's got 2 locations, or he closed the other one.
He has 2 locations, but the first location he closed a while ago to move it to San Diego, and then he opened another shop up. It's an awesome store.
Rad. Yeah, they just picked up some Talkin Schmit merchandise, actually.
Oh, nice.
So down in the San Diego area, if you need some shirts or a beanie, you just walk right into Slappy's Garage and say, Schmitty sent you.
Yeah, I gotta get in there. He keeps sending me up, like, when are you coming by? Because I drive by on my way back from Mexico every day, so I'm like, I gotta.
Oh, you go to Mexico?
I work. So the factory I work at is in Tijuana. So,
is that with Paul Schmidt?
No, it's different. It's BBS or Bareback it was called before, but
it is Bear. Okay.
Same thing. It's just
damn, you got to go in and out of the border patrol every day?
Yeah.
Is that a bitch, or do you like get a frequent flyer or something that makes it easier?
Yeah, there's a Sentry is basically like a trusted traveler.
Oh, really?
So if you have no, prior warrant or if you're not a criminal, you apply for a.
These are my amigos. Don't worry.
We're going in, I have a line, and then coming back, you got possibly a line. If you didn't have the Sentry, it would be 2 hours sometimes, But with the Sentry, it's 5 minutes.
No way. Okay.
3 minutes, but it's not.
It's like crossing a bridge.
Yeah, it'd be really hard. The first 8 months I worked there, I was applying for the Sentry, and I had to sit in the lines every day, and it was really bad because I started in the summertime too, and the lines are worse in the summer. So it was like 2-hour waits. But,
oh my God. Yeah, I've never done that. I've never even driven into Mexico before.
It's pretty seamless going in, and then coming back, you just, if you don't, if you're going off your passport or a radio lane car, if you don't have the Sentry, you just sit in a long line. Basically.
What's TJ like in 2020?
It's pretty similar with the lockdown situation to California right now.
They're taking it serious.
Yeah, they got a lot of cases and all that, so they're still about as locked down as we are in San Diego. I feel like, they just opened their beaches there and stuff.
It's weird. I didn't get the memo, but apparently beaches, there's no way to get the COVID because there's like 1 million people at every beach, and they're all like just flocking around with no masks or anything. Like there's no problem. I'm like, I didn't get that email. Nobody told me.
Yeah, sometimes it's inconsistent, it feels like these days you just don't know. I don't know.
Yeah, but I just can't wait till everyone proves me wrong. Like I don't care. Like good, but right now I don't want to kill my mom. Like what I mean? Like there's that 2% chance or whatever it is. It's not worth the risk for me. I just I'm good.
Yeah, you gotta stay safe.
Have you ever listened to this podcast before?
Yeah.
What do you think about this idea? I'm thinking about starting my own little whack pack like Howard Stern has.
Uh-huh.
So I want to send out an invite to all ladies, any female out there. I want you to be my Marianne of Brooklyn, which is an energetic girl that calls in on the show each week and has her little segment like, Schmitty, wah, wah, wah.
Congratulations, Howard! Howard Stern comes again! All I need! I'm here live for you, Howard!
Yes.
We waited all
Marianne is in the studio.
You could be Barbara from Daly City or whatever you are. Like, hit me up. You know how to get a hold of me. Email, DM, text, phone call, or whatever. Let's get this started because we got McKenney as my original. He's number one. He's my number one whack packer.
Fuck are they, dude? I need my Talkin Schmit, man.
And then I want to build. I want to get some fucking, the what was it, Hank the Angry Dwarf and all those dudes, fucking Beetlejuice and I think that'd be fun. All right, we're kind of winding down. I got to ask you a couple Ed Dominic questions. He said to talk to you about your lyrical change to the Bryan Adams hit song "Summer of '69."
Oh yeah, that's funny. I don't want to say.
That one is not 2020, compliant, Ed. We're under a different time now where people actually get fired for saying the wrong words. So we're going to skip that one.
Skip that. There was nothing bad in it. It was just like stupid, basically. So.
Yeah. Did you see, speaking of this, did you see the, what was it, Cincinnati Reds announcer? He was on air and he said like this shit, but he didn't know he was on air apparently. And then it went out on Twitter and he basically apologized and walked out in the middle of the game and was like, I'm probably done.
Yeah, I heard. So I didn't hear the what he said.
He said Kansas City is the capital of homophobic slur that starts with an F. I don't even know if I can say it, but so it was crazy. Listen to the audio.
Reds in front of the Royals. We go to the top half of the fifth inning. Castellanos to lead things off. Jim Day's going to be taking us the rest of the way through this game as Holland takes over on the mound. I made a comment earlier tonight that I guess went out over the air that I am deeply ashamed of. If I have hurt anyone out there, I can't tell you how much I say from the bottom of my heart. I'm so very, very sorry. I pride myself and think of myself as a man of faith. As there's a drive in a deep left field by Castellanos, it will be a home run. And so that'll make it a 4-0 ball game. I don't know if I'm going to be putting on this headset again. I don't know if it's going to be for the Reds. I don't know if it's going to be for my bosses at Fox. I'm going to apologize for the people who signed my paycheck, for the Reds, for Fox Sports Ohio, for the people I work with, for anybody that I've offended here tonight. I can't begin to tell you how deeply sorry I am. That is not who I am and never has been. And I'd like to think maybe I could have some people that could back that up. I am very, very sorry, and I beg for your forgiveness. Jim Day will take you the rest of the way home.
He was giving an apology, and then
during a home run.
And as he was like apologizing, he went in a home run to left. It was like his tone didn't change. It was really weird.
Dude. What's up with Kokomo by the Beach Boys? Is that the best song ever written?
Oh, could Corey tell you that? Or did Ed?
I think Ed.
I used to always play that song. Everyone's like, dude, you're like way too into the song. It's like a good song, man. Beach Boys ruled. It was a later one too, but I don't know. That's
right.
Either Corey or Ed, I knew, probably said that because they would get all pissed off when they play that.
Yeah. Then the head injury. That was scary as shit. I remember getting the call. It might have been Corey actually, telling me like, dude, how you feel now? Like, are you still not able to smell?
Yeah, I can't. That's the side effect now. That the only one that I really feel is that I can't smell. I mean,
anything.
No, nothing. It's pretty common with head injuries too. Even mild head injuries, you could mess your sense of smell up pretty easy.
Right.
I found that out later. I didn't know, but yeah, it was.
You get migraines?
No. Luckily, I don't have any. I did at the beginning. It was really bad, and I couldn't see or anything like that. So it was scary because the doctors don't tell you anything either because they don't know. They don't know how you're going to recover. So
what happened? You were trying to rail and you got pitched, or?
Yeah, I was trying to front board this. It was like a triple kinker, and I stuck on it, and it was weird because Corey was skating with me, and he went to go board side and stuck, but he was board side, so he got pitched like frontwards. It was right at the beginning of the session, and he's like, "This real sticky. I don't want to skate this." I'm like, "It's not sticky," and I'd already gotten to the end a couple times, so I was like, "Well, I'm going to try to front board it," and I overcommitted because I wanted to get, leverage to get through the kinks, and I got pitched backwards. And I remember trying not to sack the rail. So I tried to jump off the rail to jump and clear the stairs, but I accidentally propelled myself backwards. And then that's all I really remember. And then I got up and everyone was around me. And I thought I did something to my spine or something, because I was like, it was, I knew I landed pretty far backwards, but it was just my head. Well, not just my head. I mean, shit, it was my head. So I got airlifted it was in Las Vegas. And I got
Right.
in the hospital, and they induced me into a coma because the swelling was pretty bad, or really bad. And luckily they didn't have to drill or anything to relieve pressure, because I probably wouldn't be talking to you right now the same. So I got really lucky with a lot of things. And going back to Shakas with his head injury, I remember being like, oh, he'll be fine, because I had the same thing. And, he probably just has swelling like I did. And I was in South Africa at the time. I remember thinking like, oh, they just got to bring down the swelling. And then I turned my phone off, and it was, that flight's like 18 hours. So I turned my phone back on, and I got all these messages. I knew right then, I was like, well, like, in the airport, start crying. Like, what, it makes me think back to like how fortunate and,
Yeah, absolutely.
But yeah.
Damn, that's heavy. It sucks to be away too. Like your mind races to like, I don't know, would I have been there with him, or these different things. Like I remember when Preston died, it was under some really bad circumstances, and everyone's first thing is like that, kind of like, well, if I was there, or like, and it's just like, you can't do that to yourself. It's not fair.
You go, well, he went to the OB park at like 9, and it was, I think this, like, there's condensation on the ground. He probably slipped out, and, if on a normal day, if we were all there, he would have waited till later, and we might not even got, but you can't, like you said, you can't.
Yeah.
You can't do that.
Yeah. God damn it. So did that affect you, your skating? Did it make it like, is it hard to like try something after that? That's like extra, you're the same gnarly stuff that you would do. Did it decrease just because like you got hurt really bad, or?
No, at the first it was hard to, like, I thought like my neck wasn't going to hold it took like falling a few times, not even on anything big, to be like, oh, I'm not broken, I'm okay. And I slowly started skating. And then I actually jumped into jumping down like rails and stuff, like probably way too quick, because I think I met up shortly after with Rhino, and we went to some rail, and he was like, I remember him like kind of saying something, or I felt, maybe it was all in my head, I felt like, oh, like you're like sensitive, or like you could like, take it easy. And I was like, fuck that. And I started like skating the rail, and I was almost like ego, like I want to prove a point, fuck that. Like people were acting like I'm broken kind of. So no, it didn't affect me. It went the other way, but I probably should have affected me, because that's just stupid,
You could go one of two ways. You're either going to just force yourself to be like, this is not, it's like, I hate to use baseball consistently, but like the baseball analogy is somebody throws a pitch inside on you and you're brushed back. Are you going to be scared the next pitch and pull away, or are you going to hold yourself and take one if it comes inside? Just to like, mentally you have to like go one way or the other.
Yeah. So I felt that and went maybe too hard the other way. Like looking back, hindsight, that's nothing to mess with,
Right.
But yeah.
So what's going on these days?
Well,
I saw on the website you're on Reel Forever.
That's I say when I went to the website not that long ago, it made me feel so cool when I was like, they still got me on there. That's cool.
Yeah, it's like you, Massimo, James Hardy, Raymond Detta, Ernie.
Yeah, that's cool to see that. It makes you.
So does that mean you get free gear for life?
I don't know. I don't know. Luckily, I work at the manufacturing, so I could just I get the clothes ahead of time.
You get it before they do.
Yeah.
Are you still Are you skating a bunch, or you have kids, right?
Yeah, I got 3 kids.
3.
So, yeah, 3 kids. I skate with them a little bit, and then at the factory we got a bowl, and flat bar and a little manual pad, and so we got like basically a little skate park there. So I try to get out. There's a couple guys I work with that skate too, so we got a little crew there. We try to get out on breaks to skate. Really.
Do you ever see any of the dudes like Ernie or any of those guys?
Yeah, Ernie came down. Damien's here right now in my house.
No way.
I'm actually using his computer.
Oh, sick.
that didn't work.
Tell him I said what up. He was living in SF for a while. Yeah,
he was there, and then LA. He just got off the fish boat because he goes and fishes in Alaska every year.
Oh shit!
So he goes on the Bering Sea.
That's gnarly.
Gnarly, yeah.
I don't think I could do that one.
I couldn't do it. He just got back from there and wanted to get some dental work done.
Oh, okay.
And so I took him down.
Rad.
I think he's gonna go back up to LA pretty soon and possibly New York. But
okay.
He's doing so. Damien, hang out with quite a bit when he's in town. Ernie skated with a couple weeks ago. He came down to San Diego and we skated, and then Massimo. I still keep. I try to keep in touch with everybody, but with the kids and then skate. Working all the time, it's hard to get out to a skate session. I'm if I get out, it's at the skate park for an hour. To make sure I drive around and look at things because I'm like I don't got a whole lot of time, so I want to be skating the whole time. So gotta keep it in the skate parks.
It's interesting. Gabe moved down to LA. I'm curious to. I know there's tons of skaters down there and stuff, but just being a NorCal guy living in LA, I wonder how that's going for him.
I wonder too. When I found that out, I was like, that was the last person I thought would ever move out of.
I kind of did too. But to be honest, I talked to him not too long after, and he seemed stoked. Like he was like, "I'm ready for this," and he seemed like hyped. But it's kind of his demeanor anyway. Like just like make the best of everything. But yeah, I wonder after a while. I know a lot of people there's a lot of transplants there, like Hammockey's in Burbank and Mesa's there. There's a lot of people. So
there's a good crew of skaters there too. I mean, there's a ton of,
Yeah.
It's a good spot. So.
All right. We're going to end it with the get rich quick idea of the day.
Get rich quick?
Yeah. How are we going to fucking get rich quick?
I don't know. Is that an Ed one too?
Yeah.
I used to always talk to Ed about that. I've given up on the get rich quick.
Really?
Hard work's a better idea.
I want to be my own boss. I want to figure this out. We got to, I don't know. We got to be the next big thing. Like, dude, because like Instagram and all that shit, it's kind of wearing on everybody. Mm-hmm. Everybody's just sitting here waiting for our idea to pop out, and then it's gonna fucking go nuts. So we just gotta figure it out, put it out there, and then we'll kick back and make boatloads of cash.
That'd be awesome.
We gotta end with a song. You got a song you want to fucking throw out there?
Well, we gotta go with Kokomo, I guess, because that came up.
All right, yeah, absolutely. Dude, thanks so much for catching up. It's good to see you.
Good to see you.
If any of this stuff, I don't know if there's light at the end of the tunnel, but once we get out of the tunnel, I think my first trip is going to be to Drehobl, so maybe we can meet up.
Yeah, that'd be awesome. Try to get him to come down if we could get there. He's been doing all that woodworking stuff,
Dude, it's amazing his shit. Like he's got those cutting boards that are like, he sent me an early one that's like a shaped board, but now he makes ones that look kind of like chess boards or something, but they're all intricate. Everything that dude does has always been super intricate and like really cool. So I'm stoked to see that he's doing that stuff.
I've been trying to get him to come down to the factory because, I think he'd appreciate all the machines and the woodworking we do. So if you ever get down, maybe we could do a trip.
Yeah, I'm down because I've never been to TJ.
Yeah, and the TJ's awesome, and the factory, just to see the process of how the skateboards are made, like start to finish, is really cool. And I mean, anyone that skates would totally appreciate it.
All right,
it's pretty cool.
Can we do a Talkin Schmit deck?
Yeah, we could do a Talkin Schmit deck. We should do it. We should get it going though. For sure.
I would love to. That'd be fun. I've been doing just random stuff. Like me and Pastris just made like a t-shirt together, and like I've been doing stuff like that. And like people seem stoked on it, like just to make small limited runs and then you're done. So it's like kind of adds value, and you're not like making like a warehouse worth where you have to figure out storage or anything. But it's just been a fun little side project that's helped me kind of stay positive through these crazy times, man. The fires and the COVID together is just like a lot.
Yeah, this year has been insane.
Yeah, we're ready for 2021.
Yeah, for sure.
Hey, I'm getting married next year.
Oh, congratulations.
Yeah, you got any advice?
I don't know.
What do you think, small or big wedding?
Small wedding, I would say.
Yeah? More intimate so you can spend time with the most important people?
Yeah, I would. Yeah.
Did your wedding seem like it went by pretty fast?
Yeah, I didn't remember it. Yeah, I didn't remember it.
That's what everyone tells me. And so under these circumstances, like the places we've been going, they're like, I think a lot of them are like maximum is 10.
Oh, dang.
Yeah, so we're kind of forced to have a small wedding, and then maybe later we'll renew our vows and have a party once the coast is clear. Yeah.
That's a good idea.
So, all right, dude. Kokomo Joe, here we go. Thanks, JT. I appreciate you.
Thanks.
Take care. Stay safe. Later.
Thank you for listening to another episode of Talking Schmit. You can subscribe to the show on iTunes, Anchor, Spotify, or anywhere you get your podcasts. When you subscribe, you'll get notifications every Tuesday of new episodes the minute they become available. Also, please leave reviews and a 5-star rating. It's the best way to help the show grow. All of the episodes will always remain free, but if you would like to help support the show, you can do so at TalkinSchmit.com, where you can pick up some merchandise like t-shirts, beanies, hats, and stickers. The website has an entire archive of all of the episodes, with extra photos and videos. Email us with any suggestions, comments, or ways that the show may have improved your life at talkinschmit@gmail.com. All interviews are conducted, edited, and produced by Schmitty. The intro music is Mary's Cross by the band Nature. A very special shout out goes to the executive director, Sharal Camisa.
Shout out.
Love it!
This is Talking Schmit, where the Rolodex is deep, but the conversation is deeper.